Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. This is Dr. Nicole Bramwell. Hello, everyone. Let me see who is on, and please drop in the comments where you are joining us from. So we have some exciting things going on all the time, but today this is super, super special to me. This is a gentleman that I met at our Vegas convention, Superpatch Vegas convention, and I was just impressed with him. When you find out his age and what he's doing and what he has done, you're going to be impressed too. But what impressed me is his use of the super patches and how that has changed things for him and how he wants to move forward in helping others and who he wants to help. So super, super excited to bring on J.A. Whitaker. He prefers to be called Jaw. I love that. And then he put his initials together to create that. And I'm going to bring him up right now. So hello, Jaw. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine, darling. How about yourself?
I am doing super well, super well. I'm very, very excited about having you on and just sharing your story. You've got a phenomenal story. You've had a lot happen in your life, and I love how you're moving forward. And people talk about their time is up. They don't know their purpose. They never fulfilled their purpose, and they're still here on the earth. But you're going to share with us like that it's never too late, right?
All right. Look, let me say it this way. When people ask me how I'm doing, I always like to tell them if I was doing any better, I'd be sitting on the right hand of God and looking down at you. And I want to say that because, this here is called a Green Beret. And a Green Beret was the elite fighters in the Army. And I'm 80 years old. I served in Vietnam in 1968, 1969 as a combat medic, special forces. I had 200 Cambodians that I was a company commander for. I had 600 that I was a battalion medic. Our job was to go in and destroy NVA and VC base camps. And I did that for most of my tour. And when you come out of that kind of situation, you kind of touched, we might say, to say the least. There was a lot of combat trauma, and I suffer from what you call post-traumatic stress. Still have situations, even at this age, where loud noises or sudden motions or somebody pat you on the back, you react. And I try not to do it, in public, but I can control it. And that's because my body has been wired to defend myself. I'm always on hyper alert, and that can be stressful, from time to time. But I find that I try to work through that. Now, people ask me, and you're asking me, why am I, involved with this here company, Superpatch? And I like to say that, I was a combat medic and I tried to help people, also a company commander. So I sent troops in to kill people. And I do have a gallantry cross with a Bronze Star, for my efforts in Vietnam. And I want to say that, we in the military commit to an oath to serve this country. And I believe that people that really, really, truly understand that America really has a lot going for itself, that there's no other country that I know of that a person can create an idea, get some funding, and become, very successful, wealthy, and change their whole life. If I was living in a country like India, with curly hair, I'd have been called an untouchable. And no way in my life I've moved from being an untouchable into any other situation. If I was in Arabia or one of them other, Muslim countries, and I wasn't born into the family of, royalty, I couldn't move from being whoever I was into the royal, family. So America got opportunity for anybody to come up with an idea, to make that idea a profitable venture for them, and they can move into this society and move like they want to. So I like that as a basis for this country.
That's awesome. I think that that's really, really important that you shared that, because especially in the climate that we're in and we have some dissatisfaction about certain things and what have you, we may forget the comparisons of other places, if we were there. And although we may have some challenges, we can still overcome those challenges and become what we want, and do something that we want to do, that we're passionate about, that what our dreams are, fulfill our dreams and our goals. Again, we may have some challenges, but everybody has challenges, one challenge or another. And so I think that that's really important that you bring that forward, and you bring a different perspective for sure. So I think we need to hear that at this time. So I thank you for sharing that. So so you started with Superpatch. I mean, you had these things going on for quite some time, and then Superpatch was introduced to you. Like, how did you hear about Superpatch?
Well, I had a lady by the name of Anna out of Indiana, and I met her in another program up in Detroit, and we just kind of kept in contact. I've been a, a network marketer, more a holy roller in network marketing for a long time. Like I said, I'm 80, and I had the opportunity back in the day to hear about Amway. I don't know if anybody remembers Amway, but when you got started at Amway, you had to create a booklet. You had to create a booklet that talked about, gave your story. And this is my original booklet where I talked about, Amway and how Amway started and the perils of being, this is kind of old here, but the perils of being, who you wanted to be. And they gave you a kind of a lifestyle that you wanted to, you wanted to get that lifestyle. You wanted to be somebody that had a nice home, nice car, wealth and time and money and everything. And that just sunk a deep spear into me. I couldn't get rid of it. I wanted to be an Amway holy roller like nobody else. So I worked Amway and tried to make it happen. It didn't happen for me, but I learned a lot. I studied the tapes. I got a positive attitude. I made sure that I was going to be successful, and I got involved with a lot of network marketing companies. A couple of them I had a little success, but I never really was able to make the big money. And so I was always just hungering for an opportunity. And so I looked in this one and looked at that one and got involved in everything. So this lady introduced me to the Superpatch. And I said, look here, now my wife and I, we just got started on doing some video work together. That's been my hope and desire, to have my wife and I work together on something. And I don't want to, interfere with that. I want to keep on going with what I got going. Well, I listened to Jay Dollywall talk to a fellow on the tape, and about halfway through the tape, I had to text her. I said, look, I'm about halfway through this, and I can see right now this here got a lot going for it, so I need to listen to the rest of it, and I'll get back in touch with you. And after I listened to the tape and realized that this technology is like, well, they say 50 years ahead of anything else, I realized that this here is a good opportunity. Then I heard that they haven't kicked off in America. They're going to have an event coming up in America where they're going to kick it off. I said, well, this is it. I've been able to get involved with a company that's a one of a kind. They got technology that nobody else got. And they're getting ready to start, so I got a chance to be at the head of the line. I said, this here is a win-win situation. So I hurried up and got me a little this and a little that together, and got a couple people together and got in and started using it. But the thing that got me when I first started was I had a backyard that I had to clean up. And I didn't want to bother with it. I built a little shed out there, and I had some 8x12 plywood laying around, and I had to take that and put it on the roof and all that. And I didn't feel like it. My back was hurting me. I didn't want to touch it. And I said, and winter's coming on, so I knew I had to do something with it, but I didn't want to bother with it. So when I got my patches, I got that Freedom Patch. The Freedom Patch here. I got that patch here, and I got the Liberty Patch, and I put them two on, and I swear I couldn't believe it. I had more strength. I felt like energetic. I said, oh man, I got back there and got that plywood and hosted it up and put it on top. I said, boy, oh boy, this stuff really works. So I got excited. And when I got excited about it, I did a little video and said, hey, look, this here works and everything. And I got to talking to people. I sent out, invites and all that to everybody I knew saying this here works and all that. Well, I got a couple people that said, okay, let me know about it and let's get back together with it. And so I got started. And then the kicker is, Doc, the real icing on the cake is this. Now, my wife likes to watch a lot of these Korean shows, and she'll stay up late at night and watch them. And so her rhythm, her sleep and everything is all off kilter. And she's got this little trimmer in her hand, And so I put the patch on her. I put the Liberty patch, and I think I put maybe the Peace patch on, and the rim. That night I put the rim on her. And that next morning I'm up in my upstairs office, and she called me up and said, honey, I got to say that look, last night I got 7 hours of uninterrupted sleep. See, that patch worked. And that's all I needed. I said, now I got this here made. I got it in. Look, I got aces galore now. So when she said that just sealed the deal. And then she said, and them trimmers, my hand, it ain't totally gone, but it's a lot better. I said, well, baby, we're going to keep on using these patches and see how it works out. So I just want to say that these here patches do work. They got the little ridges on them for people that don't know about them. They got little ridges on them, and it's like Braille for your brain. You read your Braille, your skin reads that little ridge and sends a signal to your brain, and it recalibrates you. And I said, well, these ain't got no chemicals in it. They ain't got no nothing on it other than a little ridge. And your body picks up that signal and sends it to your brain. I said, this here technology, you can't beat it. And then I heard he'd spent like $25 million in 14 years, putting this together for his mom, because his mom had multiple sclerosis.
Yes.
And she couldn't get around. They gave her about a 4 or 5 year, life expectancy, and he took her everywhere he could and all that. And then he started figuring out how to make this here technology into a signal that would help improve her. And when he did and helped her, he said he ain't selling it. He ain't selling it and the industry already offered him $1 billion, the pharmaceutical industry. And I said, well, if that's the case, that means that I got a company that I can get involved with, that the owner ain't interested in selling it. And he wasn't interested in making money because he had already made a lot of money in the .com industry. And so he is in it for the long haul. That means I can get started with a company, make my presence known, become a big dog in the game, yes. And I can pass that income on to my children, my son and his family, and so I said, boy, here I am now. As a military person, we understand service, we understand teamwork. We don't leave anybody behind. And as a Green Beret, that was instilled in me. And I don't want to hurt anybody. I want to help them.
Right.
But I ain't taking no foolishness. And so when I started working with this here, I said, man, I'm going to get the people that really want to work with this, and we're going to make a team, and we're going to go to the moon with this. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the opportunity, and I really, really, really appreciate, Doc. I appreciate you bringing me on so I could talk a little bit about it, explain a little bit about what I feel is important for people, because this here is an opportunity for people that want to have a way to make some money, a way to help some people and help yourself, as a matter of fact, because these patches, I use them, and the one I'm really, really excited about is this in here. That's called Rocket. Hey, I ain't gonna tell you about it. You go find out for yourself.
Right. So before we move forward, because there are some other things, and I know there are some other patches that you use that have helped you tremendously. And so before we talk about those, I think you hit on some very important points. When I started with the company a few months ago, actually almost a year ago now in March, we started, our team started, and we didn't even go on social media yet. We just started reaching out to people on text and on Facebook Messenger, just behind the scenes. We were balance testing people and we were proving what the patches could do. And we started to see that even without being on social media, and it was catching like wildfire because we were just focused on helping people. We hadn't even looked at the compensation plan, which is unheard of when you go into network marketing. You look at the compensation plan. You look at it, you see what's going on. We didn't even look at that. We saw the money coming at default because we were helping so many people get their balance and stability back, which directly correlates with longevity. And so that, I think you spoke to that yourself, because you used it yourself, and then you helped like the most important person in your life, which is your wife, and it made a difference for her. And that's what sealed the deal for you, is that you helped somebody else. So I think everybody heard your heart about this and hearing my heart about this, that we're about helping people, but we're also about helping ourselves. And you and I have been in different network marketing companies. We just met, but we've been doing the same thing kind of, through, and I've had some success too, but never have I had as much success as quickly as I have here. And the other thing that has happened in Superpatch is that people that have never had any success, didn't make not $1, only spent money, have had success here to where they had comma checks. And so that, to me, that's how we help people. That's how we create generational wealth. We help somebody get through their own financial challenges and get solid, be healthy while they're getting their financial self in place, right? Making all of that right. And then transferring that to generational wealth. And certainly we have this here because we're way ahead of the crowd. We're one of one here. Superpatch is one of one. There's no other. I don't care what anybody tells you about other patches. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of one. Nobody can copy this. This is protected, so much so that people will be fined $250,000 per patch if they mess with this patent and this intellectual property protection. So yeah, we're into the stratosphere already. So you and I, Jaw, we see where we're going. We see what's out there. And certainly we have leadership like our CEO and the creator of Superpatch, Jay Dollywall, who knows what types of patches are going to come out for the next 10 years. I've never experienced that in a network marketing company, in an MLM, where they know where they're going for the next 10 years, what's going to come out. Everybody else is reactionary. They're copying somebody else and what have you. They can't copy us, first of all, because we have the research and we have the patent, we have the protections. And secondly, they're going to have to catch us because we are out there. You're patching, your people are patching, my people are patching, everyone's patching, the whole team is patching, all the teams are patching, and we're one big team under Superpatch, and we're all out there patching, not just in the US. As you heard Jaw say, it started somewhere else. The launch was someplace else. We just had our launch a couple of weekends ago. And so we are just getting started. You can come with us and join this movement, this Patch 1 Million movement now at the beginning. Catch it at the beginning, just as Jaw has, just as I have. And so that's pretty exciting to be able to do that. And so we don't have to guess about this, because this is not that. This is not what we were doing before. This is something special. This is one of a kind. This is unique. This is the future of wellness here. And so that is exciting. I use the patches too. So that's the other thing. Many people belong to MLMs and they don't even use their product. They don't really believe in the product, but they're good salespeople. We don't have to be salespeople, because all we do is go out and patch people and show that the patches work. And then they want them for themselves. And then many people actually choose to join us as ambassadors of Superpatch because they want to help the people in their circles and in their lives. And so that's how we're going to patch 1 million. So I wanted to talk about, because we're really, really touched me. I'm excited about the pain because I don't even think you told me about that story about you getting up on there and putting the roof and what have you on your shed. So I would have said, what were you doing? What were you thinking? But anyway, I got excited about you using some of the other patches that people don't necessarily talk about, the things that bother them, that they need to use the patches like peace and joy. And peace is my favorite patch. I'm a very calm, reserved person. I don't show a lot of stress on the outside, but I guarantee you my body is under stress on the inside. And so the peace patch being in my life definitely has made a difference. And recently I decided, you know what, I'm going to add the joy patch, because I think that can only help me even more. So many people wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and if you start off wrong, negative thoughts already and what have you, your whole day is to pot, or you're going to spend a lot of energy trying to catch it up. So I know that you've used these patches. Can you share that part of your story with us, please?
Well, I'll tell you what, I like wearing this hat here. It has a lot of symbolism and a lot of people recognize it. But I'm changing this hat now. I'm taking that one off, and I'm putting on this one here. This here. If you look real close, you see the little rim around there, that little strap around there. This is gonna be my new hat. This is gonna be my new crown, my Superpatch hat. Cause yeah, I'm a cowboy from a long way back, and this here, it's all about the right attitude.
Absolutely. And that's how I found you. I saw that hat. So can you share with us how the peace patch and joy patch have helped you?
Well, yeah, I can share you, because I have to have the peace patch and the joy patch. Matter of fact, I got them on right now. But you know, a lot of times in your daily life, you run into situations that stress you out, and I get stressed out real easy. I don't like any confrontation. I like to get my way all the time, and I try to stay happy, but a lot of times, you know, I can get depressed. And see, now when you've had situations in your life where you've had to encounter death and destruction, it make you want to realize, it make you want to think about, you know, what is that all about? What is going to be on the other side? My 12-year-old son, back in May the 16th, 1986, he was 12 years old, ran down the street and dropped dead of a heart attack. And that kind of threw me off kilter. I wasn't able to work for anybody. I had to quit working. I was a 3M Minnesota Mining, 3M medical salesperson who had won a Backbone Award with them. But I couldn't work for nobody after that, because somebody gonna tell me something stupid, and I'm liable to pick up something and bust them in the head and try to kill them. And I knew that was going to be my personality. And so I said, I can't continue to work for anybody. I got to go ahead and start getting my treatment, getting diagnosed and everything for my post-traumatic stress, because I know that I'm not going to be able to deal with people. And that's when I left the employment market and began to study, get my treatment for post-traumatic stress. So the peace patch, the joy patch, and even the boost patch, they help me calm me down in a way that I'm not too stressed whenever I have, you know, conversations or encounters with people that want to push my button. So I work with them all the time. I keep the peace patch, and I use that therapeutically. If I have a situation where I realize that I'm getting stressed, I got a peace patch on right now. But if I realize I'm going to get stressed, I put a peace patch on. And I like the joy patch because, number one, I like to be happy. You live a lot longer if you're happy than if you're sad.
Yes, you do.
And so I want to be happy. I want to be happy, you know, with everybody. But there are people that want to push your button, want to see you. You know, when you ask a person how you doing, they want to know if you're doing bad because they wish it was you and not them. So I don't let people enjoy me in misery because they go say, well, I'm glad it's you and not me. So I try to stay happy. I try to stay on a positive note, and they help me do that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think that's really, really important because even with the pandemic and different things, people have been better about talking about mental health, but it still has some stigma attached to it. I think especially for the military, for veterans, I think that there's still something attached to that from way back. My father-in-law actually served in Vietnam, so and there are things there, that he never speaks about. And so I think that having something that doesn't have any medication in it, that's not going to change your personality because of medication, is really, really important. And so I wanted to here, though, make a disclaimer that we don't claim to mitigate or cure or treat or diagnose anything. But everyone knows, all of us have had depressed moments. So that's not a diagnosis, that's a depressed moment, a sad moment. Like I said, waking up on the wrong side of the bed, just have wrong attitude and what have you. And if we can use something that is not, I'm going to turn this off, I'm going to feedback, that is not medication, not going to increase medication burden to people, but going to help them feel better, and then we can do better, and then you can get done all the things that you want to do. And I know that you have a lot, like you guys have started, like you got this video thing going on, and then you share with me that you're about to embark on doing a podcast. So share something about that podcast and who it's supposed to help, and what you want to achieve with that podcast.
Yeah, I'd like to, and I'm in the process of doing it. I had a chance not too long ago. I had a chance to go on the what you call the honors flight. The honors flight is a program that's set up for veterans that not only Vietnam but all the veterans. They get a chance to go to Washington D.C. and go through the monuments and everything. And it's a recognition for them, especially the Vietnam vets, to give them some kind of appreciation and everything. So I got a chance to go on the honors flight not too long ago, and one of the fellas I was at had breakfast with, guy came up and said you ought to go on it, and I took the little brochure and we got to talking, we became friends. And then when I was having a conversation with him, he said, the guy that lives next door to me was an Iraqi vet. And I'm kind of having a problem right now because he just committed suicide. I think that we have to understand, once you've been in combat, once you killed somebody, there's a lot of thoughts that go through your mind. And a lot of us come back all mixed up. And when you go through that training and you dehumanize people, it's easy to pull a trigger. So when he told me that he had committed suicide, it just made me realize, yeah, I've thought about it. I thought about it a lot. Still has cost my mind. But I know that there ain't no coming back from it. And if you really, really understand, well, it's just a test trial, you got to do better, then it gives you a little more inspiration to get up and go get at it and do what you got to do. But a lot of people don't have that opportunity. They get depressed, they get weak, and they go ahead and do something that they can't recover from. So yeah, I've been thinking about having a podcast for combat vets. Give them a chance to talk to somebody, because you got to have somebody that you can relate to. And so I'm looking at creating that venue for them too, for myself as well.
That's awesome. Yes, and that's therapy for you, actually, because as we say, as we continue to help people, more people, then you want to help more people. you continue on that vein. So here you have two powerful ways to do that. You're using Superpatch for folks at large, but then now combat vets, you're going to have your podcast, and I'm definitely going to be praying about the success for that, and dropping in and checking it out to see how you're doing, and definitely encouraging you. You told me you have a lot to learn, but that's how we learn. We learn by doing. So we can read all we want to, and reading's very, very important, but then you got to put the reading to action, right? And so, and we can watch videos and all of that, but putting it to action is definitely powerful. And I'm pretty sure that there are lots of people that will need your podcast, that will gravitate to your podcast. And I will help to promote it as much as I can, from my standpoint. So, so I thank you so much for being on here and sharing with me. You share you're very transparent and just very candid about what's going on. But I think that that's more of what we need. We need to be open about what we feel so that we can actually feel better and be better and actually help more people be better as well. So I thank you so much, Jaw. You know, you got a special place in my heart. I don't know. I think you just touched my spirit in such a way that I just feel you from a special place. So I just really appreciate you, and you enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm going to finish out talking to these folks to tell them how they can find us. All right. So
All right,
you have a
darling.
great one. All right. Take care.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing this, so I can put it out there as well. So, we'll be in touch.
Absolutely. Before you go, what's your website so that people that are jumping onto your platform, they'll know where to find your
Well,
information?
mine is Vibrant Veteran Life. Vibrant Veteran Life at gmail.com is my email. And then if you put that with the Superpatch, Vibrant Veteran Life.superpatch.com, that's my website there.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. I love that. All right. We'll see you soon. Thank
All right,
you.
darling. Thank you very much, and I appreciate it. Y'all get these patches and put them on. It'll
That's
change your life financially and your physical health too. So I look forward to seeing you on the Good Ship Lollipop. We're gonna be down in Mexico in July. Y'all get busy, and we'll have a good time down there. Drink a beer and have a cigar and have a good time.
That's right, Los Cabos. We're coming. So you heard it from Jaw. So his website is vibrantveteranlife.superpatch.com. So if you're on his platform, please go ahead and go to his website. If you need to and get in contact with him directly, his email is vibrantveteranlife@gmail.com. So I am here to tell you, you can get started with us. Join us on this Patch 1 Million mission. It is not only a purpose, it's a ministry for all of us. Yes, the money is coming by default, and there's nothing wrong with money, but we are helping so many people not only get the patches on, because you got to wear them in order for them to help. Okay. So put the patches on, and then you'll have your own testimonial. And then maybe you just want to be a customer and just use them and just, share with your family, your close people, that there's a benefit to being a customer as well. So there are discounts that you get, and there are privileges that you get being a customer. So certainly get in contact with us. My website is healthycurveslife.superpatch.com. And so if you're on my platform, if you're seeing this on my platform, please reach out to me about those. You can also Facebook message me if you need to reach out to and ask a question. If you don't know what patches you need, you can certainly reach out to me there, and I can help you choose a combination. And also I have a textable number. It's 407-674-5725. Please reach out there so that you can get your combination recommendation. And certainly from a medical standpoint, as a medical doctor of 30 plus years, let me tell you, I have never seen anything like this. I am so honored that I've been here long enough to experience this future of wellness, be present now, and be able to share it with everyone. So I already did wellness coaching. I help people get healthy. I help people reverse diabetes naturally and without adding to their medication burden. However, I can reach so many more people with Superpatch now. So this is integrated into my programs, but also anybody that's not on my programs, I'm still talking to everybody that I can, as many doctors as possible. And just know that thousands of doctors are recommending Superpatch. So the tide is shifting and we're in massive adoption time. And so you need to join us at the beginning and get on this wave. And this wave is going to last for a long time because we're way ahead of everybody else in the wellness industry. So I thank you for watching, and we will see you soon. My name is Dr. Nicole Bramwell. I am a medical doctor, and I definitely approve this message. Take care. Have a great day.